back to the Larry Kudlow Show.
Smartest guy I know, Kevin Hassett, former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. He's a distinguished fellow at the Hoover Institution. He wrote a great book last year, The Drift, Stopping America's Slide to Socialism. We have him live and in color. Kevin, thank you for this.
Professor Lowe, it's great to be here.
So I just was reading the Wall Street Journal editorial yesterday. How risky is a Trump second term? Okay. And they're in favor of the deregulation and the tax cuts. And then they write, Kevin, his second term could be a struggle between free market advisors like those in his first term. Now, that's you, me, and Steve Mnuchin. And the protectionist industrial policy pro-big labor voices who surround J.D. Vance. All right. But I ask you, all right, you are the smartest guy. Now, the world trading system is broken. I mean, don't we know that? Isn't that accepted? It's a fact. I mean, China, India, European Union, Brazil, they have tariff rates, Kevin, that are 4 and 5 times the tariff rate. Mm-hmm. You know, in the United States, what are we, about 2% plus, something like that? I mean, the world trading, it's unfair and it's broken. So don't we have to do something about it?
Yeah, we do. And the numbers, so for the U.S., our average tariff is 3.84%.
Mm-hmm.
The UK charges about the same tariff, but everybody else that we trade with, like the EU, is like 5.5 or so. India is 50.
Yes, yes.
I mean, so the point is China is 10, and they also don't open their market unless they get to steal intellectual property. And so the trading system is broken, and it really hurts American workers. But the thing I got to say, though, is that, you know, imports in the U.S. are about 15% of GDP, okay? And so if you were to, say, put a 10% tariff on, then you're maybe going to change prices a little bit, but it's a very small share of GDP, and it could potentially, you know, a lot of stuff could move to our country. And so I don't think that in any case that there's a big disagreement between you and me and, say, Bob Lighthizer, who's one of the president's main trade advisors. And I can tell you that I know J.D. Vance very well, that I've hung out with him, had dinner with him, and he's a very sensible guy. And you see that every time you see him on TV. And so this idea that he's like sort of a far left, anti-market guy is completely false. But it has been fed a little bit by people like Orrin Cass, who claim to be his main advisors, but aren't.
Right, right.
Anyway, I don't think that there's really a gap between you and me and Katie, or you and me and Lighthizer. We've got to fix the trading system, and the president has a good idea of how to do it.
I mean, I think that one thing that's lost in the discussion is what a good negotiator Trump is. I mean, he'll say stuff, tough stuff. That doesn't mean he's going to follow through. I mean, for example, think about this. A few weeks ago, Trump said that John Deere Company, which is a great American company, shouldn't build a plant in Mexico, lose jobs in Illinois. He said, if you go offshore, I'm not going to give you 15%. I'm not, pardon? Anyway, I'm sorry, we're having a little trouble technically. You still there, Kevin? Oh, we lost it. All right, we'll get him back. The point I was going to make, folks, is that John Deere is talking about moving a plant, maybe 2 plants, from Illinois, which is their headquarters, down across the border to Mexico. And Trump said that, number one, you're not going to get a 15% corporate tax rate. And number two, he would slap 100% tariff on Deere products that would be sold from Mexico. We have Kevin back?
Yeah, hey, Larry, sorry, somehow the cell phone hung up on me.
That's right. So I'm saying, you know, Trump said to Deere, don't move to Mexico. I'm going to slap 100% tariff on your stuff. I won't give you a 15% tax rate. So I would say Deere would hear that, and they won't move. And so, therefore, as a negotiating tool, you'll never see the 100% tariff. And I think that's the way now, some cases he will slap a tariff. I mean, he may go after China, he may go after India. But his goal, Kevin, I still believe this, his goal is reciprocity to get tariff rates down everywhere. So you'll have more equal tariffs at the lower rung. And I think people misunderstand that.
Yeah, they do. And he's been talking about it a lot on the campaign trail, but somehow it never makes the news. But the Reciprocal Trade Act is just less than our tariff equal to their tariff. And as you said at a G7 meeting, I can remember that's probably going to make them lower their tariffs on our stuff and create jobs in the U.S.
Yes.
But if they don't, then, we've got a really credible threat that I think will pass into law next year if the president's elected.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. And the Reciprocity Act would be hugely important, and it would be very constructive because Trump's intellectual view, as you noted, I mean, you've talked to him, I've talked to him, etc., he wants a world where tariffs are zero and non-tariff barriers are zero and trade subsidies are zero. He's trying to move it down, not up. And that's a big thing, and that would be totally pro-growth. Anyway, Kevin, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it, folks.
That was sorry we got disconnected.
That's right. No, it's always great to hear you. Kevin's book, by the way, The Drift, Stopping America's Slide to Socialism. Take a quick break. My pal Monica Crowley's coming on to tell us why Mr. Trump really does like to hang out with smart, intelligent, strong women. I'm Kudlow.